as someone who has changed their style like a ton over the last 10, 15 years, I feel like I actually am going back to my teenage roots of like, I only had like a couple of things that I like to wear. I kind of grew up in like all of my brothers' like big t-shirts, my dad's t-shirts and stuff. So that's always a huge part of me. And having four brothers, I'm just used to wearing like shorts and stuff. So wearing skirts is actually a whole new thing for me. And I also went through like so many stages. Like, I know that everybody is talking about it now, so it's actually a perfect time. But I was a full hippie, bro. Like, I was a yoga teacher and I would travel Australia teaching yoga. I lived in a van, I lived in my car, I couch surfed, I was home free, we called it. But basically just didn't have a roof over my head, didn't have a source of income. Would eat from the bins. I digress. A lot of like natural fabrics, but also like I would just walk around in my little yoga shorts and my little crop, and that was what I lived in all year round. At one point, I actually literally did not own anything except a little hemp backpack, which I would put my little Wonderboom speaker in because I needed that for my yoga classes because music was like it's like a whole thing. So I would bring my own speaker that I would carry around. I had my little actually, it's my like brother's old MacBook that I would carry around with me as well to do all my work in. And I had a sarong and a bikini, and that was my towel. My sarong was my towel, and my blanket, all of that. It's Australia, so you just kind of follow the climate and you don't really have to wear too many layers. Actually, I didn't even own like a whole jacket or anything for a couple of years. It was a very cold winter. So that is one part, this like little hippie stage. And around that time as well, I was also like, oh, okay, like everybody's just wearing all this like normal stuff. I started wearing normal clothes. After my teenage years, I was working in retail. So I was working at David Jones and places like that. And you had to look a certain way. I was working at Victoria's Secret for a bit. You had to dress a certain way. And I really embraced my like femininity and all that stuff then as well. And the same with when I was in my music degree days. When I was at university studying, like, yeah, we would always had a full face of makeup. We're on stage every single day. So this was like, I never used to wear eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is a new thing for me. I hadn't worn it since I was a teenager when I used to wear it because it was black and it was cool. And we got bullied for it. So I stopped wearing it until like a year ago. Um, so that is like a whole thing. I used to love doing a smoky eye. Like I would do it in university days, I would do it in high school days, and it was always seen as this like crazy different thing to do. So I feel like I've lost a lot of years of creativity and like I was creative in so many other ways. But I feel like I lost a few years of like makeup creativity because did not own makeup for about 4 or 5 years. So yeah, we've kind of been through like all the stages, but now that I've really been honing in on what my style is, what I want to wear, I go thrifting every single week because I absolutely love it. I have lived off thrift shops for so long, but now it doesn't feel like a necessity because I have over time curated a bunch of stuff that I really, really love. And it's for just dollars, like $4, $6. The max I will spend is like $30, and that's on like a gown. 25 for a pair of shoes or boots. Like I don't spend too much when I go there, and I have visions of like almost a list. It pretty much is. I have just so many lists in my head of things that I'm looking for different shoots, for different ideas, for my soul. Say hello to Puppy. Hi, beautiful. Yeah, so this is my room, and this is pretty much, I like to see everything. So you can see all of my style out at all times, pretty much. This is my brand, my White Wolf stuff. This is my little pack for Japan trip. I have all my little goodies. I have a lot of dress up stuff in there. So like cosplay, Halloween stuff. And then this is that's also Halloween stuff and cosplay. And then this is my wardrobe, really. The stuff that I wear all the time. I do wear things a lot. I will wear the same thing over and over again. Even if I've worn it last week, I don't give a fuck. I just go through stages of what I like to wear, and living in Australia and not having like internal heating, the things I wear on social media or to events and stuff, when I do go to events, because I'm a little introvert and I really don't leave my house. But when I do go to events, it's always very dependent on the Australian weather, which is very extreme in summer. So when I am out and about, which is very rare, is pretty dependent on the weather. I hate being sweaty. I hate being cold. I like to have options. It's just everything is planned out. So anyway, that is my room. We are probably moving house in a few months. I'm actually very excited to redo and like do a new space. I've always loved doing this. I used to move house so many times as a kid, so this was like the only thing I could control is where I put my bed and where I put the little things that I have. And now we have a lot, actually, because we have adult money, and we have a lot of little addictions to things. So I'm actually really excited to, when we move, it's going to be set up for the first time. This is actually the first time that I've owned stuff, really. So when I put everything up the same way that it is now, it's a full room and I'm like ready to go, and that feels so surreal. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for listening to this rant if you made it this far, and I really hope that my storage is going to save this video. Let's see.